Hi, I'm Christopher Dean, and this is part 8 of a tutorial series where we build a design system in Sketch. This week we're doing iconography. Let's just take a look at what we're doing. This is the first time in the series where we won't be doing every part of every item. The amount of icons we'll need will take us hours. Instead, we'll learn how to craft icons that can be used in web and native app design and also be exported for cross-platform development and animation. Bring in a set of 35 icons I made earlier and recreate the set of 8 24-pixel icons below to showcase Sketch's drawing and shape tool capabilities. So we've got a menu, settings, heart, cart, alerts, search, calendar, and pen. We'll go on to create their 3 color versions, which is black, primary, and white. Create a handful of 16-pixel utility size icons to support the initial set. These can just be smaller versions of arrows, and we'll need a lot. Then leave this tutorial knowing everything you need to create your own icons. Let's just jump into abstract. Create a new branch. Call this iconography. Go to edit and sketch. And here we go. Let's pull back. Grab the buttons and forms artboard and duplicate it. And I did that again by holding down Alt Shift and then dragging. Move it over to 2500. Move this to the top. Change it to iconography. Copy that, go over to here. Change this heading to 16 pixels. And this one to 24 pixels. I'm going to turn on our layout settings, and I've actually added a shortcut in the toolbar that allow you to do this much faster than me looking down and doing that. Now we just go and do it there. And that's good because I no longer have to tell you I've done that or made the shortcut without you knowing. Let's go over to our other sketch file where we read from before and grab all the icons. Okay, and here they all are. I'm going to put a link to this file in the description of this video and in the Medium post that leads to this video as well. So you can open it and do what I'm about to do now. Now we know that copying and pasting symbols from one sketch document into another can cause duplicate shared styles. And to stop that from happening, we can't select everything like this, it'll take too long. Dragging and selecting just selects the symbol itself. So I've installed a plugin called Select Similar Layers. I'm going to go to Manage Plugins. This is by Wessley Roche, so thanks Wessley Roche, this is an awesome plugin. What that allows us to do is to select one element, go up and select border thickness, which will select them all. And I'll just nudge them up and down so you can see that happening. We're now going to detach from shared layer style and then go in and find the elements that we didn't get, like those 2 little circles there. Detach them. The bell, detach that. Just check if there's anything else. Oh, we could use the plugin again. Let's try that. Plugins, select similar layers, fill color. Excellent. Learn something every day, even when you're using something for the first time. Here we go. And that should have done it. Okay, we're now going to select them again and make them a color that we don't have in our main global sketch file. This is going to allow us to select them while they're in there, not select anything else that is like them, and then change their color back. So let's do that again. Border thickness. I'm going to create a new style. Just call it path. Change it to pink. Update it. Go and find everything that hasn't changed. Change that to pink as well. And go over to these social icons. And these social icons I've just grabbed from the brand guidelines for each of these. So feel free to go and grab them from there or just use these ones. Let's turn these pink as well. All right, now let's select them all. And paste them back into our main file. Select the top of the artboard. That's right, they would have gone over there. Let's move them into place. Select that pink line again. Go to plugins, select similar layers and border color. Change it to shape, line black, 1 pixel center. Select the bell and 2 wheels, and also the calendar dots. Change them to color black. And then use plugins, fill color, and change these last few to color black. Let's go and delete that extra style that we created to get them here. All right, we're ready to make some. And you're probably wondering why they're all in a 24 by 24 pixel symbol, and I'll explain that in a moment after I change that to 8 and 8. Now when you place an icon into a design, or a symbol, or a nested symbol, you might want to replace it easily, and doing that is much easier if all of them are the same size. Everything stays exactly where it should be. And the reason why we have a bounding box in each of them is so when we export them, the SVG or PNG doesn't trim it to the size of the visible elements inside it. All of those are actually uncoupled from their style. So I wonder if we can run that plugin again and set them. Let's go to fill color. Let's put bounding box back on them and we're ready to go. And the first one we're going to redo is search. So we're going to duplicate this and move it down. Delete everything, including the bounding box. Select R on our keyboards to make a rectangle. Change that to bounding box and do that for its name as well. Place it back into the symbol. All right. We turn on the grid of the symbol. I hope you guys can see that. What we'd like to do is give most of the elements at least 4 pixels distance from the sides. That'll make them around 16 pixels to 20 pixel sized icons. Instead of selecting each element and then looking at the inspector to see exactly where everything is, let's just try to redo them by looking at them. All right. Select O on your keyboard, or select a oval from here. Click and drag. Now select L on your keyboard, or select a line from here. Click and drag that while holding down Shift. Select both of them and give them the same style as the one above it. And that pretty much did it. We're going to group those two, rename this to icon. Okay, now the reason we've kept centered paths is because we can export these as an SVG. PNG will be fine, but we can also bring the SVG that's converted into an EPS or is brought over to After Effects in something like Sketch 2AE plugin, which I've got here, but it's turned off, by Adam Plouffe. That'll take the paths over to a After Effects comp, and then you'll be able to animate it for something like Lottie. And that's actually what I'm going to show you how to do in the next part of this tutorial series, where we're going to craft a few pictograms that are around 64 pixels or 128 pixels by 128, and then take them into After Effects and animate them. The next one we're doing from here is date or calendar. I think I called it calendar before. Let's do the same thing, remove everything. We're going to keep bounding box in there. Let's just look up. I'm going to select R and drag. I'm going to duplicate this and resize it down to about there. I'm going to go and grab the line that I created here. Move it up to about here. Edit it using edit path up here. Align that properly. Move it down 1 pixel. Duplicate it, move it over, select these two and give them the main style that we're using. Let's change that to 4 actually. Move this down. Okay, now we need some rounded corners, but we only want the top left and top right on this one, and the bottom left and bottom right on that one. To do that, we can select it, go to Edit, and just select the points. If I zoom in, you can see that they get selected. There's a little gray outline around that one. Select that one, enter 1. Do the same here, go to Edit, select just the bottom ones, and enter 1 in corners inside the inspector. Okay, we're almost there. We can select one of these and click R. It's not a rectangle. Click O for oval. There we go. Change this to color black. Duplicate it a few times. Okay. And that's pretty close. I think this one is actually better than this one. These are too close together, and these are spaced out nicely. We're going to do menu next. This is going to be a really easy one. It's only 3 lines. Let's delete them anyway. But go back and select everything over here first. Group it and add icon. Go back. Turn on the grid, Now just by looking at it, we can make a line at about here. Give it its style. You see up here, we've got 0.5s happening. We don't want that. I'm going to change that to 6, 8, 18, 8 again. That looks about right. Alt, Shift, drag down to duplicate it and then do that again. And that looks about right. I'm going to group those. Add icon as the name of the folder. Settings is next. And this is a bit of a tricky one. Let's go and delete everything. See this combined shape? Ooh, how do we make that? Let's delete it. Turn on the grid. Select oval and just drag out something that's maybe 16 by 16. Give it a shared style. Duplicate it for the one that's in the middle. Bring that down to about there. This is a little bit smaller actually, so. Okay, we'll try that. Kind of looks all right. Then we're going to duplicate this, move it up, change its width to about 4, and then just place it here. Right, there's a great tool called Rotate Copies. Now I've put this in my toolbar, but you can get to it by Layer, Path, Rotate Copies. It's going to ask you how many you want, and we want 7. You can enter that here and just press OK. Then you're going to drag this into the middle. Look at that. Pretty cool. I'm going to let go, zoom in, and rotate this until it's about there. Okay, so grab those, select the circle we want to merge them into, and then go up and select merge 2 layers into one using a union operation. This is booleaning. And there you go. Let's group those. Ooh. Here we go. How are we going to do this one? This is going to use booleaning as well. Let's delete everything. Turn on its grid. Go back. We need an oval and a square. Another rectangle and then a little semicircle. Let's make the oval first. Wow, I really don't know how big that is. I'm going to try 10. I'm going to make a rectangle. I'm going to draw it from the middle of the circle down to that line. And then resize it. Okay, let's give these our shared style. Yeah, we're going to have to move that in. Let's grab those and do the same thing we did before. Merge them. We need another rectangle. See, by turning on the grid, everything snaps into place, which makes things a lot easier. I'm going to move that to about there, and then give it its shared style. Probably too high. Let's do that. Go up to Edit, grab this point, move it 1 pixel out, then grab this point and move it 1 pixel out the other way. Okay, we need that semicircle at the bottom, so let's just make an oval. I'm going to tap O on my keyboard. Okay. Give this color black. Move that into place. go in, and then we're going to select the scissors. See how the lines become available? We're just going to cut them. We're then going to go back into edit. Go over here and go close path. We're going to grab all of those. Change that to icon. And that looks about right. I'll just turn the grid on for the one above it. So you can tell that I actually did draw these. And all of these icons are pretty much part of personal projects or other projects that I've worked on. And I've just merged them all into one set. You can go to icon sharing sites like SketchUp Sources or the Noun Project if you're having a bit of trouble getting inspired on what type of icon you want to make, or you just want a visible reference. That's completely up to you guys, and I've been guilty of doing that a few times myself. But after getting pretty used to how Sketch draws everything, now I don't even use Illustrator. I just do all my icons in Sketch. Okay, shopping cart. Rectangle. Let's turn on our grid. This is about here. Go to edit, grab this point, move it 2 in, grab this point, move that 2 in. We need a line, so let's just draw one using the path tool. We're going to hold down shift, tap it about here, 2 pixels over, and then go down and meet the basket there. And that's way out, so let's give it its shared style. Go over to edit, move that to 6 and 8. Move this up to about 5 and 4. And this over to 3 and 4. How does that look? It's not far off. Let's just leave it like that. Select that cart and select O. Give this color black. Move it to about there and then duplicate it over to there. Okay. The next one we're doing is pin. And here's one where you might think that I've used a oval and then a triangle and then merge them. I tried to do that, but I could never get the points on either side of that rectangle matching up with the circle perfectly. So I'll show you what I did. After I group these. Here we go. Turn on the grid. Tap O on your keyboard. Go over to here, draw out a circle. Let's try 10 and 10 again. Give it its style. Okay, now I'm going to go to edit, select that point at the bottom, then go over to here and select straight. Now you can see the point options. You can have straight, disconnected, asymmetric, and if you play around with these, things get pretty cool. But we want straight. We're going to select it again and move it down. 1, 2, 3, 4 from the bottom. And there we go. I've got that pin shape. We just need to make another circle in the middle. And that one's done. Heart is next. And I'm not sure I'm even happy with this one. So let's go and look how I've made it. Yeah, it's a combined shape that's then been flattened. It looks okay. Mostly okay. Let's delete it. Draw 2 ovals. Maybe maybe about 8. Probably 10 for each one. Give them their styles. Merge them. Oh, an update. Not yet. No. We're going to select flatten the shape to a single layer. So that's flatten that combined shape. And this is the hard part. Let's select edit. Create a point here, which is 2 pixels down from that left point, and then one over here, which is 2 pixels down from the right point. We're going to keep that one, but delete this one and this one. We're then going to move this one down. Go over to here and select straight. And that looks pretty similar. A little bit more rounded up the top here. And that's it. Let's group it and place it in an icon folder. And you're probably wondering why I stick everything in an icon folder. I think it's just so icons that have multiple elements, I can move them around easier. But something like this, you might want to not do that, but I just do it for consistency. And I think that's it. Let's just count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep. Which one did I say I was going to keep? This date one instead of this one. So I'm going to delete this, move this up. These are all pretty much identical, so I can remove those. I'm just going to save where I am. And now we need to make the primary color versions of all of these, and then the reversed white versions of all of these. And once again, that's only because you might want an icon that matches your brand color, or your main brand color, this one being the primary color, or a reversed icon over a dark background. Those are always good. Now I can't do that trick again like we did previously because it's going to select everything in the entire system. So let's go and grab the other ones that are still pink in the other artboard. Before we do that, I'm going to grab the calendar one from here and bring it in. Where did you go? Over there? The date icon, actually. Gotta make up my mind. Date or calendar, Chris. Select all of those. Give them that shared layer style. Select all of those. Make them pink. Then go back and attach this one. Delete that icon, yes. And that would have removed it from here as well. See, it's broken out. Let's go place it there. Good. And here we go. Over on the side, you can now replace it with whatever you want, and the size remains the same. And I'll show you later on how powerful that can be when we place it inside one of the form elements we did last time. Let's go back. Select everything again. Copy and paste it back into here. I'm going to select the Google Plus icon. Paste them all in. Move that into place. And that's okay for the ones we're about to change into primary, but we need a different color to bring in for white. Because if I bring in the same icons that we just copied and pasted into this that have pink lines again, and then run the select similar styles plugin on that, it's going to select all of them. So let's go back, change the colors in the other file, and then bring them in as something like bright yellow. Select similar layers, border color. That'll do, path 2. Change it to yellow and the brightest one we can get. Update it. Actually detach that. Go to yellow, bring that all the way up here. That's done everything. Great. Let's select them all again. And if you're wondering about that shortcut, it's my Command-Shift-C custom shortcut that you can see here. Let's go to keyboard. Shortcuts. App shortcuts. And here we go. Collapse all groups. That's what you want to set it to. And I've done mine as Command-Shift-C. Let's close that. Select them all. Copy them. Paste them into our main file. Move them into place. All right. Let's select the second set of down arrow up to Google and run the rename it plugin and select find and replace. Enter black and primary. Select all the others, run that plugin again. Change black to white. With all of those still selected, go over here to the inspector and select background color. Deselect include and export and change this to our 222 color. Okay, now let's run that plugin again. This time we're going to do border color. We're going to change this to shape, line primary, 1 pixel center. Let's do the same here. And change this to shape, line white, 1 pixel center. Then go in and change those little pink dots and the little yellow ones here. And here's a duo color icon if you want to leave it that way. I'm going to make all of mine the same color though. Fill color. Change that to color primary 100%. And that did everything, great. Over here, I'm going to do the same and change this to white. Okay, and that should be it. We've made the black versions, the primary versions, and the white versions. Let's go and clean up our extra styles that we've brought in. by organize layer styles, path and path 2. Bottom left is a minus icon, just select that. Is anything else duplicated? Got a secondary bounding box. Okay, let's select that bounding box. Go to fill color. Surface bounding box. Now they're all done. The ones that we made last time, we're going to go and delete, or replace rather. And they're only being used in our form fields that we created in part 7. So let's go back over here. Select the down arrows. Okay. Swap them for the second one on the list. That would have changed the one here because this is a nested symbol. Just thinking of this tick now. Let's leave that and then change it in a future community updates edition. We can now go and delete these two over here. We won't get a warning because we just replaced them. Okay, let's make the 16 pixel versions of a basic set of arrows. The close, plus and minus, probably tick. I'm going to hold down Alt and Shift and drag these up. No, it left one behind. I think that's a bug in Sketch now because that never used to happen. Let's drag them all to the top of the list. Go and grab the one it didn't work with. Close all of our groups. Drag this one to the top of the list. Under up arrow. Like that. Select them all and go over to the inspector and change their width and height to 16. Select the bounding boxes inside them. And change them to 16. Now we're going to rename the icons themselves. And here's a couple of ways that you can do them. You can either select the icon folder, hold down Command K, change this to something like 10 and 6. Select the path inside it and center it. And you can see that it's made something that's 10 wide by 5.34. And that's not what we want. What we're going to do is turn on the grid and just fix the placement of the points. This looks like the offending point. Let's change that to 8 and 10. Center that again. Reset its shape style. Wow, when I duplicated them inside the same file, it duplicated the style. Interesting. Let's go down and make sure that hasn't happened here. All right, go to Organize Layer Styles, remove the second one, maybe that happened before and I just didn't know. Okay, that looks fine. Instead of changing this one, we're going to copy and paste this one over to it. And then do that for this one as well. We can delete this path. Go over to here and select flip vertically. Then flatten. Then scissors. And delete that. Okay, that's how you get it reset so it doesn't have any flipped values or rotational values. Let's now beach ball of death. Wow. Rotate this 90 degrees. Flatten it. Use the scissors on it. Copy and paste it over to here. Delete the path below it. Flip it horizontally, then flatten it again. This one's going to be easier. We just need to change the length of the lines. It's at 22. Let's try 12. Move this to here. Ooh. Center that. Center these. And do the same for this. The tick will be a little bit different. Let's move it here. Select Edit. Turn on the grid. Place that at 8 and 12. That at 4 and 8. Select this one and move it down to 13 and 4. All right, that's better. Let's drag this over to here, move it into place. Let's actually bring them in so they're 16 pixels away from each other. Close our groups. Select them all and use the Rename It plugin to change 24 to 16. Duplicate them twice. Ooh, it didn't do it on the second one. Select all of these. Run the Rename It plugin. Changing black to primary. Select all of these and change them to white. With all of those still selected, move them to the top. Select all of these. group them. Okay, now we're going to have to select all the paths that we want to change into primary this time. And with only a few of them, this is going to be okay. Primary, 1 pixel center. Select these and change them to white. Select the outboards. Change that background color to black. Okay, and this should actually be 10. Let's do that for primary and white as well. And minus. Realign those. There we go. Now if we go up to symbols, icon, we've got a 16 pixel set and a 24 pixel set. So you can just go and grab the 16 pixel of an arrow down and place whatever one you like. If we go back to the form that we created last time and delete it, turn on our grid. Place a 24 pixel alert icon. You can go over here and change it to the red one or the right one. Let's put a dark rectangle behind that so we can see it. Okay, and then let's place the form field of select. And that icon now can be changed into any one of the 24 pixel icons that we made before. And you can see that they're all grouped together because they're the same size. I don't think you'd put Facebook in there, but you would probably put something like a tick. Let's delete those. Do a bit of cleanup. Just going to move these up. This won't be that hard because we just need to select all the 24 pixel ones and move them up. Let's just save where we are. We're going to merge this now. So let's go to the bottom and go preview and commit. Enter iconography. Done. Commit changes at the bottom right. And everything looks okay. There's our little icons turning up. Great. Let's merge this branch. And while that's syncing, let's just talk about what we've got now. We've got icons in 3 different colors that we can now start to go and design with. The next part, like I said earlier in this tutorial, is going to be larger icons called pictograms. We're going to design some of those that you might use for like onboarding screens, take them into After Effects, animate them, then preview them, with the Lottie Preview app. So join me for that one and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye.